Will it show me my Facebook page? Ah, yes, and we are live. Wonderful.
Hello.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I am super excited this morning. Welcome everybody to Thrive Thursday, a new edition. Today, I have a special honored guest, my new friend, Dr. Angela Potter. And let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Angela. Dr. Angela is a leading holistic doctor supporting busy, burnt out moms to reclaim their health and energy. Ah, don't you love that? After the birth of her first baby, she came face to face with the hardships that mothers frequently experience after giving birth, and she was amazed at how much pressure is put on mothers, how little support they're given for their body, right? So mother's wellness is super, super important, right? And it can change at different times in a woman's life. So from there, Dr. Angela developed wellness protocols to specifically help mothers to identify and overcome things like low energy and stress and mood swings that they were kind of puzzled by, right? So Dr. Potter has been interviewed on healthline.com. She's a nutritionist as well as a doctor. Hello. She's bringing all the goods. Her office is located in Portland, Oregon, where she lives with her husband and her two toddlers. So she is also a mom as well as a doctor. And you can find more about Dr. Angela and her services at drangelapotter.com. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome Dr. Angela today to Thrive Thursday. Welcome, Dr. Angela. So great to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Raquel. I love being here.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, let's warm up with just share with our audience about what led you to start your practice. What began this passion that you have for helping moms in particular?
Yes, absolutely, because really it was my own path into motherhood. Because I was a doctor when I had my kids, and when I was pregnant with my son, my first baby, I had like no expectations that postpartum healing would be difficult, that, it would be hard to become a mother. I thought it was going to be this idyllic time with our family. And oh my goodness, it was a huge wake up call. I was so happy to be a mother, but I was in so much pain in my body. Like in the first couple of months, which is so much longer than I ever expected, I couldn't walk up and down stairs because my body was still healing. I was incredibly anxious. I had just it was how do you say, like, debilitating, how anxious I was. And then I remember that moment when I was back at work, and around that 3-month mark, I had just had finished up a meeting, and I hung up the phone. I had started all these to-do lists, and I just started crying. And I thought, how in the world am I supposed to transition my brain away from my baby and start focusing on work? My sweet guy, he still needs me for all of his needs. And I felt like I was swimming in a black hole. And I knew it wasn't supposed to be like that, right? There's this beautiful to be a mother with your young baby. And yet, because culturally we don't really honor that time period and we don't support the healing process as we need to, then that leaves mothers feeling like I was, like my body was falling apart, my mind was going out of control. And I was a doctor at this point, right? And so, but I also knew, like, this is not how it's supposed to be. And so I moved forward, getting my own wellness team in place, using my knowledge of medicine and natural support and herbs and nutrition. And I got to a place where I felt really strong and balanced and free of anxiety. And then I got pregnant with my second baby. And when I had her, I kept up with the things that I needed. I had a postpartum wellness plan, and it was so different. It was, I felt grounded. And when I was ready to go back, at that 3 month mark, I was ready to go back to work. I was excited about, being fulfilled in my professional life and then also being a mother. And so since then, I have transitioned my practice to be helping busy, burnt out moms to reclaim their health and energy so that they feel, they don't feel like they're losing out on these moments with their babies, and they feel strong and healthy and balanced.
Oh my goodness. I love that. And that they feel less guilty, right? Because guilt is such a big one, right? And it's like, why am I feeling like this? I shouldn't feel like this. And you can end up beating yourself up ad nauseum. And I find that there are so many commonalities in our stories because, as you know, I also serve moms, and that also emerged from my own experience of feeling like I wasn't doing a good enough job, beating myself up, comparing myself. And I thought, oh my goodness, what can I do to help other moms not struggle like this, not have these yucky feelings, and really recognize, the awesomeness in themselves. And using also, right, it's like taking the stuff that we know and that we've been trained with and that we use to help clients, and then applying it to ourselves, like, oh my goodness, look at that. And I think it's so true, like you said, that it is in our culture that we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to heal naturally, that we want to like jump from one thing to the next, like it's nothing. And when giving birth to a baby, that's no small thing. It may seem like it is, but it really is. There's so much that our body has been through for months and months. And so it's part of being compassionate, I think, and loving with ourselves, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, there's that aspect of it, right? It's important to take that step forward to be like, this is not right. I need some extra help, and to
Yes.
seek that help out, or the help out. But the issue is, that can also put on some guilt on us because it's like, oh, well, maybe something's just wrong with me, or I don't really have
Mm.
time. And the issue is that, culturally, again, we don't focus on the mother's health after giving birth, right? I mean, during pregnancy, you're going regularly in to see the doctor. They are like on it whenever the littlest thing comes up. And then you have the baby, and you're just basically told, all right, you look fine, use lube, good luck.
Yeah. No
And then
instructions or anything.
no instructions. And so that leads women to, and moms to be thinking like, okay, but I don't feel fine, and I have all this anxiety and my body feels different, but my doctor, have told me that I'm fine. So maybe I just need to deal with this. And, let alone that early postpartum time, that then, if you don't get the care in that early postpartum time, then that leads to issues years down the line, when continually, if you've said, I guess this is like the price of motherhood, right? And I just have to struggle with this exhaustion. That is a huge disservice that the medical community is telling to moms. It's a message that is being communicated, and it's not right, because there are so many answers to our health issues that, with simple lab tests, or with just some nutrition changes, or, very simple things, and you can get more energy. Your mood swings can shift. This is why I love being, I'm a naturopathic doctor. I love this field because there's so many tools to help people get to this place of true health, of vibrant health, where, you wake up feeling excited about the day. That is a possibility out there for you.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that message of hope. And I want to take a step back though to describing a little bit more about the struggles that you
Yeah.
see clients dealing with. One of the things we talked about is that you mentioned was feeling guilty and feeling like this is how it's supposed to be and I need to just deal with it.
Mhm.
What are some of the other things that you commonly see clients struggle with when they come to you?
Yeah. So moms in my practice, a lot of times it's the mood stuff, right? Anxiety, just stress, that feeling of, that frantic doggy paddle feeling when
Mm.
you just can't get a handle.
Mhm.
Yes. You cannot get a handle on your day. And then, of course, that puts the guilt on. I certainly see a lot of depression and, hormone imbalance as well. So, once your period is back, I see a lot of issues around that, the irritability, mood swings, just irregular cycles. And often people are told, okay, well, you have to deal with it, which is such a disservice, or
Yeah.
go on the birth control pill, which
Mm.
when you're using birth control pills for issues that aren't birth control related, it's not actually helping your body. It's not balancing hormones. It's not supporting your body. Sure, it's like getting rid of symptoms, but when you get off birth control, then they're just going to come right back. And sometimes even bigger than they were before. So a lot of period issues, and then the weight loss, right? Or the
Mm.
weight picture, which from my perspective, I don't say like everyone needs to fit within this like BMI picture or anything like that, right? I am inclusive of all body types because that is another, there's a lot of stigma out there in the medical world, or just, our culture. We have such a strong need for a certain body image, right? But on that note, right, for moms, when their bodies have changed so much during pregnancy, and then they expect to lose the weight that they gained during pregnancy, and then they don't lose it, or they actually gain weight, there's different factors that lead to that weight gain or not being able to lose the weight that has nothing to do with your willpower, right? Or the foods that you're
Right.
eating.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, those are commonly the things that I see and work with in my practice, and the struggles that moms have.
That is so wonderful. And I really appreciate about your approach that it is more natural, right? Because so often medical doctors, traditional doctors, the first thing that they go to is pharmaceuticals.
Mhm.
And, right, but, take this pill and, call me in a week or whatever it is. And there are so many more alternatives that unfortunately sometimes we're just not even aware of, and our doctors are not necessarily sharing that information. They may not even be aware of it, or they just or don't believe in it, whatever the case may be. But the thing is that there are so many amazing, natural options that we could choose. And I'm so glad that there are people like you who are helping moms in, to get back to, a state of well-being and health and vibrancy, in a natural way. Yeah. And I wanted to speak also to what you said
Mhm.
about the weight issue. I remember one time I went to an obstetrician's office, and I was doing a kind of a lunch and learn presentation. And when I asked them about some of the issues that they see with some of their moms, I remember one of the things that really took me aback was that some of the women would not want to weigh themselves when they came to the
Mhm.
office because they were concerned about the amount of weight that they had gained, and they were so self-conscious about it. And I was like, wow, that never even like occurred to me, but it is, such a huge deal, especially when you look at magazines and you see all these like high profile people, models and
Yeah.
entertainers and people who like have a baby, and the articles will say, look at, so and so 6 weeks after baby, or and it just kind of perpetuates that whole image that, yeah, you're supposed to like just your body's supposed to go back to normal within, just a few weeks. And if that doesn't happen for you, it could be very easy to go to that place of darkness and beating yourself up like, what is wrong with me? uh,
Yes.
so I so appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah. And, talking about that weight loss is, here in my clinic, I don't even keep a scale. Having that number is not important to me. And unfortunately, still in a lot of medical practices, it is. And there are conversations that doctors are having with their patients about the necessity of getting to a certain weight in order to support their
Mm.
health. And there's just so much more than the weight piece. And when we're told, okay, well, go ahead, go lose some weight, and that's going to support your health. Well, what do? We go and we eat a really low calorie diet or a really restrictive diet, like
Yeah.
a high protein, low carb is a really popular diet, has been for a few years now. But there are 5 factors that lead to unwanted weight gain or stubborn weight loss that I'll tell you about, and that have so much more to do than eating foods. Because when we go on those types of diets, sometimes they'll be helpful in that period of time that you're eating that way, but it's not
Mhm.
sustainable to eat that way long
Mm.
term. And then so you just stop, and then a lot of times that weight just comes back, and sometimes it comes back even more than the number that you had pre-diet. So
Mm.
when you're looking at, wanting to come to a steady weight that feels really good to your body, the 5 factors that lead to that unwanted weight gain are: number 1, yo-yo dieting, right? Going on back and forth on
Mm.
diets that completely messes up your metabolism, and it's going to make you hold on to weight. Right. And number 2 is hormone imbalance. A lot of people don't realize that our hormones, like our thyroid, our reproductive hormones like progesterone and estrogen, those interact really closely with our weight picture. And so, if you have irregular cycles, lots of cramps, low energy, like that's a big sign that you've got some hormone imbalance. And that
Mm.
might be the issue that's leading to your weight gain. And then number 3, stress, right? Is stress makes our body hold on to weight. So if as moms, right, we've got so much going on, so much stress that actually keeps our body to hold on to weight. And then gut issues certainly play a part into that. And then a low nutrient dense diet, right? So if you're not nourishing your body in a way, and it's not about eating in a really restrictive way, it's more about nutrients that your body needs.
Yeah.
Once your body can get those, then it can lose the weight naturally.
Beautiful. So yeah, choosing the nutritious foods, because I think oftentimes when we're on the run, we don't make the wisest choices when it comes to food, and we just kind of grab whatever. And a lot of times it's the kind of the comfort foods or just what's easy, and processed foods and all of those. These are things that I'm learning as well. About just the quality of the food. And so thank you for pointing those out, the 5 factors. That's awesome.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes. Um, so when so let's dig into that piece a little bit more with the hormonal imbalances and the nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah.
How do you see that playing a role in the work-life balance that we're all after all the time, right? And what are some of the biggest mistakes that that people make when it comes to that?
Yes, it's such an important piece to the picture, because the mistake is, right, we just don't even see that there is a connection. And,
Mhm.
when we're busy and burnt out and running around, feeling like we're chicken with our head cut off, right? We
I've
put
been
that
there.
on ourselves, right? It's like, okay, well, I don't have enough time management. I don't have, like, I need to be doing these things in order to be, meditating more so that I can be calmer throughout the day. And yeah, those things are really helpful, but you've got to look at physiologically what your body is doing, because if you have no progesterone, which is such a common picture, right? That is one of the most common hormone imbalances,
Mm.
is, really low progesterone and really high estrogen, which is
Ah.
because we're exposed to estrogens on a daily basis in our water and our makeup and lotions and foods. So again, not everyone has this, but it's a very common picture. And so if you're running around with no progesterone, you are not going to be able to feel energized throughout the day, right? If, your thyroid is out of balance, and you're incredibly anxious and you haven't checked your thyroid, like all of the meditation or the positive thinking that you do isn't going to solve the issue because you haven't found the root cause of what is causing that anxiety or what is causing that low energy, that insomnia. So it's really important to look at hormones. And, the first hormone to look at typically is our stress hormone, cortisol,
Mm.
because, right, we're so stressed out every day, and our bodies have a really good mechanism to handle stress, but we're meant to handle stress on a really short-term basis, right? Like a lion running at us. We see that lion and we run away, we run up the tree, and then the stress goes away. But here in modern day society, we have chronic stress, and
Yeah.
that just puts our bodies into this state of what we're experiencing, right? Into those mood swings and low energy. And so we've got to look at that stress hormone picture to see what it's doing throughout the day. Cortisol, it talks directly to your thyroid, right? Your thyroid's right here, which is why I keep pointing there.
Mm.
And it lowers your metabolism. It interacts with your hormones that affect your period. So you've got to take a look at that to understand, okay, I'm so busy, I'm burnt out, I'm feeling like, do I just have to deal with this forever? Is this just how I'm supposed to be? No, we've got
Mm.
to look at that holistic picture of what's going on in your body in order to fix it and get that to go away, get it in balance.
That's wonderful because you're speaking to, kind of a comprehensive, holistic approach that we can do behavioral things to bring us back out of stress and feeling more calm and at ease and functioning better. But it's also about paying attention to the physiological aspect and perhaps getting, going to somebody like yourself and getting, kind of a workup to see what our hormones are doing and what they're appropriate, how the levels are and whether they're what they're supposed to be and how that might be impacting our health. um, how would you say that is different when you are dealing with somebody who is just postpartum versus a woman who is in like say my age, like in perimenopause?
Yeah, that's a juicy question. I'll tell you that. Because yeah, it's going to be really different. It's going to be, what that person is going through. So a mom with a young baby is, first you've got to see, I recommend the stress hormone testing, right? A mom with a young baby who say she's breastfeeding, right? Her hormonal picture is going to be a lot different than somebody who,
Mm.
like you have older kids, teenage kids. And so it's going to be when I'm working with moms with young babies, it's like, okay, are you 3 months post birth or a year post birth? What's going on in your body? Has your period come back? Really working on very gentle nutrition changes, nothing drastic, but just ways to get like, are you getting food in your body on a consistent basis, right? And so we work on that. And then working on that hormonal picture as it comes up, because it's going to be really different depending on that breastfeeding journey and when periods come back. But it's really important to look at for that, there's so many mood swings going on, and the weight picture and insomnia can be a big issue. And so figuring out just really natural solutions to help with that. So then, working with somebody who is, around perimenopause, has older kids, right? Then you want to you want to look at that cortisol picture, because again, there's even more years there of constant stress to be working on. Right? It's about making sure that, depending on where you are in that perimenopause picture, of what your hormones are doing, and getting them as steady as you can, getting, lots of fiber in, and lots of nervous system support in order to move forward as your periods drop away, and supporting your balance now, so that as you move forward to that even more, like the bigger hormone fluctuations of
Yes.
menopause, then you're not dealing with the insomnia, the hot flashes, the mood swings, the weight gain, all of that. So and again, it's a very individualized approach, right? So when I have patients come into my office, it's like, okay, who is this person in front of me, and what are their needs? So we can talk about, from a broad perspective, the needs are, but really it's like, okay, what are your specific needs? What is your body telling us that it needs? Because we're all different, and we all need something that's specific to us.
That's very, very true. I love that emphasis on the specific person and what their particular needs are. And also the idea of just listening to our bodies. That's one that I, for one, have been learning more about in recent months, right? Is the idea of listening to my body and what it needs, and just being very kind toward it, right? In the way that I take care of myself, in the way that I talk about my body, because there's such I mean, this is the instrument that allows us to play in this world, right? So it's like we only have the one body, so we have to take care of it, and of course, that requires some time, it requires some dedication, and I want to make sure that more women know they are worth it, right? That this is important, and that we are worth that time, we are worth that care, and that to the extent that we do take care of ourselves is the extent that we're going to be able to show up in our best energy for our families and for the work that we want to do in the world as well. So this is, just really beautiful. I see that we have a lot of, commonalities in the way that we think. And I just love this conversation right now. And so you would recommend that going in, well, how often would somebody, would you recommend that somebody like goes in to see you to get evaluated, get that hormonal picture, and look at their nutrients, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be completely dependent on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like how much needs to be worked on. I do like a foundation with patients of, we do some sessions talking about nutrition. And, I want to clarify that when I'm talking about nutrition, I am talking about how to make this food relationship a really beautiful, wonderful thing, and how to help it serve your body, not in a way that's like restrictive and
Like we're
taking
gonna put
away
you on a diet.
like, yeah, or a lot of naturopaths are, saying, oh, you got to be gluten-free and dairy-free. And that's not the approach that I take. I work more on gut health and improving digestion and absorption of the foods than about taking foods away. So I like to
Thank
make
you.
that
That's
caveat.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yes.
So that would be, I guess, one of the factors that perhaps would stop people from, say, engaging, right? Like going
Mhm.
for that help, if they're thinking, oh no, they're just gonna put me on a diet. I don't want to go on a diet.
Right. Who wants to eat that way for a long time?
Yeah.
And there's so many different answers. It's more about how our body responds to foods. It's
Mm.
more about changing how foods are prepared than it is about taking that food out of your diet. It's so much hype. In the media, you get all of this information about diets, and they're They'll tell you all about how they are, the answer to your health issues, and sometimes they are short term, but
Mm-hmm.
often it's just another fad diet. Honestly, I mean, I've been a nutritionist for over a decade, and I can confidently say that diets, they are fad diets, and they come and they go, and so it's more about looking at your body, and
Yeah.
so that you can love what you eat and love
Yes,
how your body feels when you're eating those foods.
that's it. It sounds like it's a lot more sustainable as a lifestyle, right? As opposed to a temporary fix, um, which, yeah, could be restrictive. And like you said, there's so many diets that come and go. But yeah, we want something that's going to help us in the long run to stay fueled and be in our best functioning and energy, right?
Yes, right.
Um, are there other things that you would recommend in terms of helping working moms to be in that best energy and operate in at their best at home and at work?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's that hormone piece, right? From my perspective, hormones play such an important part in balancing stress, in keeping your moods balanced, your sleep really good. And so I recommend to get some natural hormone balance started in your life. A really nice foundation is seed cycling. And if you're
Seed
unfamiliar with
cycling?
that, yeah, it's called seed cycling.
Huh,
And
what's
you
that?
basically take different seeds during one half of your cycle versus the second half of your cycle. I actually have a free handout. If you want to know more about seed cycling, grab it at drangelapotter.com/hormone. And so you'll get all the information. Even if you don't have a period, you can get the benefits of seed cycling. And so you're eating these different seeds during the month, and you're basically just switching them halfway through the month. And that helps remind our bodies of the really beautiful natural cycle that our bodies thrive on. And it's so easy to do at home, and it's just added food, and it's great fiber and extra nutrients for your body. And so getting that in place is wonderful, because then you are supporting your body in that hormone balance to be reducing that stress and helping with your sleep, and even supporting weight loss and having a steady weight if that's something you're interested in. That's a really fantastic place to start.
Wow, I think I may have heard about seed cycling, but only vaguely. That does it sound like something that I might have heard of at one point, but not something that I had understood what it really was. So this
Yeah.
is a very intriguing. What was that link again? I'm going to put it in the also in the chat so that our
Yeah,
audience
I
can
don't.
get a hold of it.
Yes, because I don't know if I can chat here or put it in the chat on my end, but it's my website, drangelapotter.com, and then /hormone.
Hormones.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah.
seeds should be easy, right? I personally don't know very much about seeds, but I know that there's some really fantastic seeds that have wonderful properties to them, and that
Mhm.
you can take them, and they're more and more they're easier and easier to find at the grocery store, or I mean, are these things that would be like readily available at the supermarket, for
Oh,
example?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is why I love recommending it, because it is so simple, right? You just grab, most grocery stores will carry them. I'm sure you can find them online places as well. And then, yeah, you can just add them to smoothies, to oatmeal, cereals, soups, things like
Oh, I
that.
love it. It's
Yes.
easy to
Yes.
implement.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Angela, for all of this juicy information. I think that, yeah, you've really highlighted the importance of paying attention to that, our biochemistry, which I think oftentimes is something that we ignore. I know I have, for many, many years, and it is now in my wiser, more mature years that I've gotten more to pay more attention to those things as I realize, it's time to take better care of myself, because I think it's the more that we take good care of ourselves, the more longevity and vitality that we will experience. And I think we all want that. So
Yes,
appreciate
your
you.
health is your greatest asset. And if you
Yeah.
don't have your health, then you don't have anything. It's important to focus on.
Yes, absolutely. And I love, again, the natural focus and the holistic approach. So if people wanted to know more, I know you've already given us your website,
Yeah.
drangelapotter.com. So everybody, go visit Dr. Angela's website. Um, um, any other place that you would, where people can find you? Do you have like a group or anything like that?
Well, if you're ready, if you're busy and burnt out and you know that you need some more answers and you've been searching and doctors have not been giving you the information that you need, then reach out to me. I'll give you my direct calendar link and sign up for a call so we can talk about your issues and how to get you feeling really strong and balanced. So you can just head over to calendly.com // Dr. Angela Potter and just sign up and let's talk about how to get you to that place of health.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. Well, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So ladies, that was Dr. Angela for you. So let's stay in touch. And thank you so much, Dr. Angela, for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Raquel. Thank you for those who are watching. It's such a pleasure.
Okay, great. Everybody have a fantastic day. Remember that a mom is a woman first. And I will be conducting my free masterclass, How to Have It All as a Working Mom, 3 steps to co-create with universal energy. So don't miss it. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Zoom. So thank you again, Dr. Angela. Have a fantastic day, everybody.
Bye-bye.